لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله. All my days I give in your name, having you my desire. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Arbaeen Talk. I am your host today, Amir Radha, and joining me today on my right hand side is the well-renowned great mullah.
This is the coach of Iraq,
Ali Fadl.
Ali Fadl, who's today coaching us.
Go back to me, go back to me.
Can you go back to him?
This is a limited edition, if anyone can see it.
The mic is there.
It's a limited edition tracksuit. It's a limited edition tracksuit. I got it directly from Baghdad, the Umbro shop in Baghdad. They don't do these tops anymore because they're not sponsored by Umbro anymore.
So we have the well-renowned Coach Mullah Ali. And then on my left is the loving, great Sayyid.
Clearly you haven't done this before, have you?
I'm trying to think. So we have Sayyid Mohsen Shah on my left. And sitting next to Sayyid Mohsen is our favorite mullah. Sorry, Mullah Ali. Our favorite mullah, Mullah Rashid.
I'll take world-renowned over
That's
favorite.
really deep.
So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, Mullah. Okay, now this is the best I can do as a presenter. But you lot have been joining us for many, many episodes discussing the great pilgrimage, you can say, of Arbaeen. And as you can see behind me, if we can get the shot, please. We have the live Mashaya from the holy city, the holy country of Iraq.
From the previous episode to this episode, there's look how much is double. It's almost doubled, isn't it?
It has.
If you think about it, these people are going to be walking or traveling for the next 2, 3, 4 days. Like, they need to get to Najaf as soon as possible,
and
then start their walk. And then some of them want to get a couple of days before Arbaeen and rest and so forth. So it makes sense. This is the time to get in.
And mashallah, all of these award are walking towards Abu Abdullah. And with that being said, discussing the Zawar, you lot of mashallah have all been Arbaeen. You've all been Zawar. From your experience there, what could they improve on? What do you want as a Zawar? While you're walking?
As a Zair?
As a Zair, yeah.
Well, firstly, let's kind of introduce Mullah Rashid properly.
Assalamu alaikum.
He's been introduced, but I mean, like, in terms of, because every new guest, we ask them the same question. Your first experiences of Arbaeen, how it was like. Any core memory that you have of Arbaeen?
My first Arbaeen was 2019, I think.
Okay.
2019 was my first Arbaeen. It was a small group. It was about, I think, 10 of us. It was me, my dad, and a few uncles that we knew. And literally, it was just us. We just booked a plane ticket and went. That's it. Yeah. Being my first time, I had been to Iraq before, but I hadn't experienced Arbaeen.
Okay.
No, sorry, I'm lying. No, that was my first time in Iraq.
Okay.
That Arbaeen was my first time. Arbaeen was my first time. So, it being so busy, the scorching heat that you have, that's my first time being there. So obviously, when you first land there into a country you haven't been to, it was a bit of an interesting experience to see how busy it was, how welcoming people were, seeing the shrines, for example. I remember seeing the shrine of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and I just started bawling my eyes out. Because obviously you see it through your phone, you see videos, you see clips and whatnot, but then when you're actually there, it's a different experience.
For those who don't understand the English language or the slang, what is bawling your eyes out?
Bawling my eyes out means
that's not slang.
People understand that.
But if BAWL, isn't it? BAWL.
Yeah.
Bawling. Yeah, I think it's a legit word.
But if they don't know, then it's basically crying and not being able to control yourself.
Sorry.
Was that your first ever ziyarah ever? Like to any holy shrine?
No, I've been to Iran.
Bawling. Yeah.
You've been to Iran?
Yeah.
So this was your second ziyarah to a holy shrine?
Basically, yeah.
What was it like comparing?
Obviously, Arbaeen is just a lot busier. It's a lot busier. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
It's landing, having like 2 days in Najaf, 2-3 days in Najaf, and then you're walking
I stand
for about
corrected.
3 days.
Bawling your eyes out is a very much universal term. Sorry about
Oxford
that.
Dictionary.
Oxford Dictionary.
My bad.
Oxford Dictionary, nice.
Britannica.
Not too bad.
the free dictionary.
Yeah, not bad for away from East London.
Right. Was there, and this is a question to all of us as well, what your first time experience, not Arbaeen now, but visiting the shrines, what was the difference in feeling between Imam Ali alayhi salam and Imam Hussein? First time when you see it.
Mullah.
Oh.
I'll start.
Okay.
Okay, so when I went to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, I went off season. I remember being in the car, and then we were driving across from Shah al-Qibla.
Okay.
So I saw it for a fleeting moment. It was boiling hot. It was in the summer. I think it was June time. You know when you go to Iraq for like 2 months? We used to do that back in the day. We used to go to like Syria and Iran for like 2 months straight.
Wow.
Summer holidays. Did anyone used to do that?
I wasn't that privileged, no.
No?
No.
No, it's not privilege. It's like the summer holidays. They didn't want to spend it in the UK.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know what you mean.
so we just yeah. So we went and I just saw it for a fleeting moment. I was like, oh, is that was the shrine, right? I just kept thinking.
How old were you?
Then I was. This is 2003 was the thing.
The fall.
The fall. 2005 Liverpool won the Champions League. 2006.
He brought that
2000.
He brought that up.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, it's either, 2005 or 2006 in those days. Yeah, so it's quite dangerous and all that stuff. Anyway, so and then I remember that my dad took me into the shrine, blah blah, and then I got to the actual shrine part, and there was no one there. And I remember seeing in the images, and I remember seeing in the videos that it's always packed out. People are, jumping over each other, just trying to get. I'm like, and I reached the shrine. I'm holding onto the shrine. I'm like, am I sure I'm here?
Quick question: at that young age, did you actually recognize or acknowledge who this person is? Did it actually hit you that this is,
No, I didn't. I didn't go and I didn't walk in kind of acknowledging who he is and really reflecting on the story. It was just I was in awe of where I was. Okay. But I didn't have that depth of experience with Majalis and Muharram and all of that to then realize, okay, I am now here. This is the pinnacle of where every single person's heart reverts to during Muharram.
This is why we have.
Yeah. This is the place. Because when I went, I expected it to be like jam-packed. When I went there, I was like, there was no one there. I literally looked left and right. I'm holding on to the shrine. No one was next to me.
You're chilling like.
And I was literally chilling, just holding on the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the famous Imam Hussein that everyone was crying about and everyone was talking about for years and years and years and years. And I get there, I'm like, okay, so I'm here. In a way, unfortunately, it's like, is this really it? I didn't get that. I didn't get that first kind of Arbaeen experience or first time when there's loads of Zawar or maybe having a few Muharrams under my belt to really acknowledge.
But the thing is, we can say it's a good thing as well, though, because I know a lot of people for their first time they get overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, what's going on? There's 100 man here. There's this. They're like, last year, I saw a lot of people for their first. They go for their first time, like they're overwhelmed. They're like, I don't know. Do I cry? Do I smile? Do I punch back?
Yes.
Do I like?
Yes.
It's too crowded. You don't know what to do. Yeah.
So that was a bit of an interesting experience.
Do you feel with children or people who are young, should we take them to ziyarah and stuff like that?
100%.
But the thing is, would it be a waste? I'm not saying it's a waste because it's never a wasted trip doing ziyarah. But it's like you're in front of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you're here in front of Abu Abdullah Hussein. But do you know where you are? You know who this is?
So I'll give you an example. Back in the day, I wasn't able to go to Iraq, obviously, because of the tyrant or whatever. So we used to go to Iran quite a bit. And now in Iran, there is a core memory. By the way, I keep getting this core memory thing from Inside Out, the film.
Yeah.
So
it's a core memory.
It's a core memory.
Great film.
What was it? It's the gold one.
Yeah.
Is it the gold one?
Gold one's happy. Yeah.
No. So which one's the core memory?
The blue, like shiny one.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was like if I close my eyes and then I can bring that picture back. I can vision it, right? And I remember at a very young age, I'm talking 5 or 6, right? I can hardly remember a lot of things. At 5 or 6, I remember exactly Sayyidah Ma'soomah's shrine. I remember the water cups. I remember the water fountain in the middle. I remember that the shrine, the way you enter it is in this massive place of like mirrors and glass and all that. That I remember. And her name stuck with me from that age till today. So it's 100% very much encouraged. Not just encouraged, but like I would encourage the young ones to go because it becomes part of their memory. They remember these little things. I'm hoping, I took my son when he was about 4 or 5. 4 or 5, 2, 3 years ago. So I'm hoping that he does have that as a memory, and it sticks with him.
The thing is, if you look, it depends on each child. You can't just say young kids. It depends on their comprehension, if they can understand where they are and what's going on. Like the first time I went to Arbaeen, I think it was 6. Arbaeen 2006.
Wow.
So again, it was fresh out of the war and all of the thing.
Yeah.
Landed at Baghdad. I went through 100 checkpoints.
Yeah.
I came out the car, dog sniffed, came back in. Literally half an hour later, it happens again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't remember much because I was only 6. That's looking back. That's like what, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wanted to go back to Mullah Rashid's. What was the experience like with not just with your family, but being of color?
Yeah.
Let's just just being of color. And I remember saying in this actual show a couple of episodes ago, it was such an amazing experience to walk with you, because I remember like any time, like literally every 5 steps you'd get stopped. And they'd ask you, "Oh, you Shia, you Shia?" And it's like, bro, I'm on the Arbaeen walk. Yeah. I get non-Muslims sometimes go and they're all amazed. But what was it like for yourself and your dad and your uncles as a group?
Yeah, so as a group of us walking is very interesting. It was probably a lot more back then than when I was with you.
Yeah.
Literally every few poles were getting stopped, getting asked questions. And the interesting thing is obviously because my dad speaks Arabic like fluently. So whenever they're stopping my dad, and then for example he's talking to them, they're baffled like double. They're like, okay, so hang on a minute, he's from Africa. Then he now speaks Arabic. Then it's like Fusha. Then he's got Muhammad. They're all confused as hell.
Mad. Yeah.
But
do you remember the types of questions that they asked you?
yeah, just like where you from,
Okay.
how is your experience here, for example. A lot of it was very welcoming, to be honest. I can't sit there and say it wasn't.
No.
A lot of it was very, very welcoming. Even, for example, going off season, it's the same thing. A lot of people are very welcoming, like to ask a lot of questions. And it's nice. It's nice to feel you're welcomed in another country, you know? But as a whole, it was a lovely experience.
Fantastic.
Lovely experience, to be fair.
And did they know that you recite?
So initially, no. But then obviously, for example, we'd have certain majalis, for example, on the walk, for
Hajj
example.
Haidar Ghazaz was like, oh, he's a mullah.
I remember once I forgot where we were, but we were I think it was around pole 300, 350, something. We were chilling, waiting for the rest of the group to come. And a bunch of guys have just come up to us, and Haidar's like, he's a mullah, he's this, he's that, he's that. So then Haidar's like, just get something out in Arabic, read anything. Yeah. So I think, I don't know, I pulled something out, started reading. Yeah. And then more people started coming. More people started coming. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm like, what's going on here? But more people are coming. More people. And as a whole, they just really respected it.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it's like, alhamdulillah, it's a really nice experience. Really, really nice experience.
So I wanted to, with your permission, because in one of the previous episodes, what happened was that we asked a question, right? And the question was, how do you envisage the Mashaya, the Arbaeen walk, to be in 20 years' time, in say 2050? Yeah?
30 years' time.
30 years' time, sorry.
Should we ask first his idea?
Yeah. How do you envisage Arbaeen to be in 30 years' time?
Yeah. I'm thinking for those people that aren't going, for example, because a lot of people obviously are still here in London, for example. Those people that don't go, I think we'll see a lot more of a shift with like AI possibly. I think VR, some sort of experiences where, for example, if you're not going to Karbala, you can experience this in your own home.
Digitally.
I see.
I think there's going to be a lot more, because right now, obviously, within the past year or so, there's been a massive push of AI. So imagine that on the walk, for example, maybe even for someone that's there as well.
Yeah.
I think that could be something pretty interesting.
Okay.
What else? I think just in general, I think things are going to change a lot in terms of, for example, Mokibs. I think things are just going to get more advanced.
In what way?
Even if you make up technologies, by the way, it's like 30 years time. We have no idea. You just make it be like, I want to see a flying speaker just playing Lot Me.
Hey, that's a show.
That's actually not bad.
Speakers on drones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, that's a real.
With like, I don't know, science, for example. Welcome to Karbala.
Imagine just drones dropping off water or food.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, to be fair.
So the reason. Okay. So the reason. Why can I go to live? Is it there live? Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, is that one? No, it's not.
What would you want to see?
My guy. Yeah, you're right. We're not live. Anyway, so the reason why I ask is because in one of the previous episodes, we asked this question. Yeah. Sayyid said something. Our previous guest Haj Mahdi said something. Amir said something. I said something. And
I'm really upset when
and lo and behold,
you can zoom in with your fingers on the screen.
Oh, we here
on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a screen thing as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So lo and behold, we get this image. We get this message.
Scroll up.
You see that?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Mohsen, would you like to do the honors?
I'm not going to mention the name just in case the person doesn't want their name mentioned, but you can see it anyway on the thing. But I am disappointed none of you imagined that 2050 Arbaeen could be in the presence and participation of the Imam of our time. May Allah hasten his reappearance, inshallah.
Mr. or Mrs. Ansar Mahdi 5122, thank you very, very much for that comment. Genuinely, thank you very much for that comment. I'm going to be the first to put my hands up and say, do you know what? You're absolutely right.
It was a wake-up call.
It was a genuine wake-up call.
God.
Every one of us were like, oh, wow. We forgot. To be fair to us, the conversation that we had literally right before that question was all about food and what kind of food and technology. So our mindset, our thoughts was kind of still in that. But if you were to give us an excuse, you know how Imam says, you know, give someone 70 excuses.
Yeah. Indeed.
If you were to give us one excuse, it was that. But in saying that, let's ask the question now, and especially to the dear viewers who are watching this, this is amazing, how would the walk of Arbaeen be like in the presence of the Imam of our time? What do you think he would do?
Someone at the front holding a massive flag, like the Imam's there, and like we're just all walking behind him as like the mawqib of Shia walking towards Karbala. And I'm like, that, like, imagine, like, obviously we keep saying 313, join the army, all of that. And I'm imagine we're there. That moment could be the start, like, who knows, in 30 years' time, maybe Ashura, Arbaeen will be on a Friday. And it'd be like it's mad. I'm like, imagine you're walking and the Imam's in front of you. You're walking behind him.
Crazy, just there's banners, but he'd be the first.
He's the first.
And then you have the 313 behind him, for example, right? And all the rest
everyone's
of us
got a flag or a sign with the the war signs. I imagine we're marching now. And now we're walking with a mad purpose. And like the Imam's there, he's enlightened us, he's taught us, and we're following the path.
I kind of feel like it might be like a Ghadir moment, in the sense that when the Prophet used to walk, all of them used to walk behind him. So when he stopped, he's like, okay, tell everyone to stop now.
Yeah. Those that are behind catch up
and all of that stuff. So, he might just stop and say, listen, I need to give everyone a piece of advice on the way to... Tell me.
I've got a sick question. I've got a question.
Oh, it's a question.
No, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
So, it's 2050. Inshallah, the Imam will come, hasten his reappearance, and we will see him. You're working at a mawqib. He comes, stops at your mawqib. What would you do? What's the first thing you say? Would you offer him food? Like, what would you do? I'm opening the floor to all of you. What would you do? Because
that's crazy.
It's a mad one.
That's crazy. Technically, it's like he's come to your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. Flipping on.
But is it one of those ones where he's just gonna come, take something, and leave, or is he gonna sit down?
Yeah. Okay, so now
I think it's one of those ways.
I'm gonna split off into two. The first one is.
That's an invitation to a house. Like if he's gonna come as a guest, that's different. But if you're already serving Zuwar and he's the first person to come.
So he comes, you see him, you have an inkling that you may know who this person is. You know them ones where you think you've seen the Imam.
If the Imam is here, you'll know
it's one of them. It's one of them. Is it him? Is it not him? It looks like him. You know what I mean?
No, but if he's
he'll have his delegation and his entourage and
as
flags.
You'll know. If he's here and he's arrived, you'll know who he is.
Okay, so what would you do? What would you do?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get a picture.
Take a selfie.
I'll take a picture. I'll be like anything. Like, well, obviously, we'd first of all we'd welcome him. I'd ask if he wants anything, he needs anything. Everything I could find in the mawqib, I'd offer. Make sure that he's happy and everything, and I'll be a bit starstruck. I'm not gonna lie.
See, everyone's just.
I mean, you'd probably say that. Assalamu alaikum, ya Sayyidi, ya Mawlaya. How can I help? Would you speak to him in English?
He speaks every language.
He speaks all languages, right?
He speaks all languages in their dialect.
Okay, but would you speak to him in English if you had the option to?
Thing is, okay, what language do you think in your head?
Arabic.
So my main thinking language is a hybrid.
Well, no, it's a bit English
hybrid,
Arabic,
right?
yeah.
So my hybrid is Farsi English with a few Arabic words that I know that I don't know the other translations for. So I'll speak to him in that because I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
But I would obviously seeing the Imam and in my head I have that connotation. Arabic is more religious because obviously you go to the mosque, you go to location. When you see a Sayyid, for example, I say salam. I speak to him Arabic. Salam alaikum, shlonek, shahbarik. Like it's very slang because that's the only Arabic I know.
Yeah.
But that's how we'll start a conversation. So I'm assuming in my head, as formal as I can be, with however I'm dressed, I will start a conversation.
There would
like that.
still be a ziyarah of Arbaeen, right?
I wanted to come on to that. I didn't know whether I was going to mention it or not. I was okay. So 2 things. Number 1 is that Karbala will be avenged with
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So is there going to be a Messiah after that? After it's all been avenged and stuff, everything has been done. Will there still be a Messiah? Will we continue to do this ritual? Second thing, my dear good teacher Sheikh Muhammad Abbas Panju, I'm sure you guys all know who he is.
Yeah.
He told me in the time of the Imam, once he has established his authority on earth, Najaf to Karbala will be the headquarters of his office, building after building, office after office, to do all the admin work. You have to understand his authority is global. It's not in like one. It's so this is like the international headquarters of the Imam of our time.
Yeah.
So there will be just offices and admin non-stop from Najaf all the way to Karbala.
So admin meaning offices, meaning what, people come in suits?
As in, like, there's going to be a lot of
things
to deal with. Bayt
al-Mal,
your taxes,
so
law.
Are people going to be wearing suits or
Stash?
I think they can wear what they want as long as it's within the Sharia. As in, the Sharia tells us what to cover, but not really what to wear.
Is there going to be like an HR guy?
What would be the culture
I don't know.
there? What would be the culture
I don't know.
there?
What would be the working
Maybe
culture?
they all come up in tracksuits.
No, but like,
Iraq flag.
what would the working? What would the working culture be like?
We're like,
what if people didn't really like each other?
What's it like right now in the Middle East when like it comes to corporate? Majority wear distashes, man.
No,
I don't know.
Qatar, Saudi.
So the Gulf states all wear distashes, and they have like the fancy the Gulf one. With the one thing on the middle. In Iraq, they all wear suit and ties. If you go to Baghdad, they're all wearing suit and ties. Qatar, it's a mix. I've seen people depending on what country you represent. Because Qatar,
I mean, international groups that are in the Gulf states and the UAE and all of that stuff, they wear suits and ties.
But I think both are.
By the way, you know the UAE are like 89% international expats.
Yeah.
Compared to like 10%.
Same with Qatar. Same with
so I think most of them they're not going to wear dish dashes. I don't think so. Anyway, why are we talking about this? So the whole point is to kind of move on. You asked a very, very interesting question about the whole what makes things easier for the Zawar. So how can Arbaeen change to make it easier for the Zawar? I think one thing, yes.
Here's an idea.
Chat to me.
Could you? It's probably not going to happen ever. But could you imagine if there was like a conveyor belt, or the ones you see at the airport, for those who are disabled in wheelchairs, or those who are finding it a bit difficult.
Travelators. Sit on it.
Just walk on that.
What, travelators?
Or walk on it. It makes
Is that what it's called?
Twice as fast.
Yeah, you get there in like half the time. A day and a half, and you're in Karbala.
I feel like I'm gliding. You know, in the airport, and you're walking with the pace of the travelator. I feel like I'm gliding.
It's quick. But I mean, you can just stand on it if you're tired. Just stand. Or sit down on the floor.
I was just gonna say, don't you think that kind of takes away from the whole?
But you're still walking.
No, I get it, but obviously it's like.
But do you know what's so amazing is that these people that have limited ability or they're differently abled, they want to go through the pain and the suffering and the misery and the hardship. That's what they crave when they're walking. If they had do you know what? It could be a social experiment, but if you had the option to go on a conveyor belt, it's a good idea, I guess, for some people. If you had the option to go on a conveyor belt that will take you there, it'll take a long time if you just stand there, but it'll still take you there. Or you can walk on that, which will get you there faster. I think no one would do that.
We've seen so many videos of like, someone maybe who don't have legs, they start crawling.
Yeah.
And I've seen someone offer them, look, here's a wheelchair, take it, or sit in this buggy. Or
what happens?
And they don't take it. They're like, no, I'm doing this.
There you go.
And a lot of I've seen like even
the dedication of these guys is proper inspiring. Like it really is inspiring. It makes you like, in a way, it kind of puts me to shame thinking, do you know what? I'm complaining about my knees. At least I have knees. Like other people people don't. and they're still hell bent on dragging themselves. Imagine dragging yourself from Najaf all the way to Karbala.
It's the passion.
Damn.
That is hard, man.
That's tough.
That's tough. But they're all going towards.
I was going to ask, have you got any stories of the opposite where someone's there, it's their first time in Arbaeen, they don't really know what's coming up, and they're, I'm going to walk, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
They always fall into the same trap.
And then, first 400-500, they're done. For first 400-500 poles, they collapse, they're finished.
Every single, and this is a word for all of the Zuwar. If you're going for a first time, okay, please take it from someone that has, or some of us that have experienced it, and we kind of know what we're saying. Just pace yourself. The first night where you walk is going to be very exciting. You've got the adrenaline pumping through you. You're going to walk and walk and walk and walk, and you're still carrying on. You grab this salad, you grab this sandwich, you have this chai, you have this juice. There's so many people that can get your energy keeping. But I'm telling you, that first night you are going to crash.
Manage your expectations.
You are going to crash. The next morning you wake up, your whole entire body has felt like it's gone through a 3-hour workout. Your entire body is aching. All right. Then you got that's where the willpower comes in. That's where the willpower's at. Am I really gonna finish this, or am I too tired? So pace yourselves.
What would you recommend pacing wise?
Okay.
How many poles should they do a day?
So
how much should they rest?
So the way we do it is we walk in Maghrib, right? After Maghrib time, it's slightly cooler. So do your walk, and the mawakib are still there. By the way, side note, the mawakib don't care if it's night or day.
They're active.
No, it's not just they're active. Breakfast is breakfast. My guy, if you're asleep, you could be asleep. We're still serving breakfast. We're not going to change our times because we think people are walking more in the evening. By the way, people are still walking. There is as much people walking in the afternoon as there is in the evening.
The natives walk home.
They'll walk whether it's sun or they don't care, right? But breakfast is breakfast for these mawakib. So they'll have their breakfast between
Fajr
it's
and
amazing. Fajr and like 9, right? That's their morning meal times. They'll have their lunch at between 12 and 3, and they'll have their dinner between 6 and 9 or whatever it is, right? Just after Salah or just before Salah. So they don't care that you're sleeping in Maghrib time and waking up, right? But you still have mawakib on the way. So you sleep after Maghrib, you walk after Maghrib.
It's never quiet,
Yeah, and then you go up until Fajr time. Walk as much as you can. But if you get tired, if you get too tired, just stop. Just stop and rest. What I used to do, I think it was 20, 25, maybe every 50 poles, take a 5-10 minute break every 50 poles or every 100 poles.
100,
Is it every 100? Every 100?
Normally we did about 100. 100 makes most. 100's about an hour or so. You walk for about an hour, chill for a bit, little chai.
The problem I found is when you sit down, it's hard to get back up.
So these little chai breaks, by the way, at first they were 2 minutes. Yalla boys, come on, we're on it.
Then it became half an hour.
Then it became 5 minutes. Then it became 10 minutes. At one time, I kid you not, I walked for like half an hour and I took a 3-hour break. I walked for like half an hour, took a 3-hour break. Because, by the way, there's another thing that's so mesmerizing about Arbaeen is that when you're sitting there and you're just tired and you're knackered and you're
enjoying the walk,
and you just enjoy just people like body after body after body is just walking past you, and you hear that the sound of slippers and shoes on sand. No, not that. The sound of slippers, and it's like you just hear that, and you just hear a random latmiya playing, and you hear another random latmiya playing, and you smell food,
you
and
see
you
all
hear
the different flags coming.
You just hear Zion. The background noise is one of the best sounds. You just sit there, and wallah, that's one of the reasons why I sat there for 3 hours. Is just I'm just sitting there staring. It's an amazing experience. Just sit there. The weather is great. It's around Maghrib time. It's not too hot. You got a chai in your hand. Oh, life couldn't be great. Ya Rabbi, I really do hope that you get to experience this. It's an amazing feeling. Amazing. Inshallah we get there. Sorry, I went into it a bit.
And I think the thing is, you are right though. People can really enjoy the walk. This is why we have constant broadcasts of the live mashayikh all over Iraq from different locations. Everyone walking towards the holy shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And I've actually sat one time, just 3 hours, didn't even check the clock. I just sat there, thought, let me watch this, and I'm watching it for hours, and I didn't realize, oh no, it's 4 hours later. All I've done is seen people walk towards the shrine, and it's mad.
When I'm working at the Mokib, it's one of my daily routines. I'll sit there for like an hour and a half, just watching people go, just watching. It's nice to see the different types of people, different mawakib, you know, the people that dress up as well coming, and there's a lot going on.
There's a lot,
you know, so it's quite nice.
So how would it make it easier? I would personally say wider roads. It's still very much
It needs to be wider.
Even in the
100%.
afternoon, even if it's at night, no matter what
100%.
time. Do you know what it is? Before, you would see, like, if you were to look at it from bird's eye view, you'd see like a block of people, and then there would be like some gaps, and then some block of people, and then you see more gaps. I kid you not, wallah, last year I went out just to see what it was like around 3 p.m. So this is like middle of the heat, but I knew that I can go back in. Like, I wasn't walking. I just went out just to see what it was like, then I can go back in. I kid you not. It was a constant block of just a sea of bodies, an absolute sea of bodies. Like, obviously as far as the eye can see, because it's going all the way down. So I look left and I look right, and it's just a constant number of people. There are no gaps.
I think you need lanes.
No gaps.
You know, like in driving, you got 3 lanes. You got the fast lane, middle lane, slow lane.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Because when you're
people
walking,
get in the way.
when you're walking,
Overtake.
When you're walking, you're used to a certain pace.
Yeah.
Your legs are used to a certain pace. Anyone that comes in front of you,
What, like have like a speed lane and a slow lane or something?
You have to.
Do you know how Haidar Qazzaz? Have you tried walking with Haidar Qazzaz?
Of course.
Yeah. Haidar, mashallah alayhi, is quite tall, right?
Yeah.
So
Big
three
steps.
of his steps are like 5 of mine.
Yeah.
So I told him, listen, after the first hour, I was like, listen, bro, I'm not your walking buddy.
I
Just I
can't
beg you
keep up.
choose someone else. I can't do this because I get tired trying to keep up with him and talk at the same time. So you got to choose someone who is of a similar walking pace to you. And my God, the fact when anyone comes in front of you and there's like a group of like 7 women all side by side and they're walking really slowly, it's like, where do I go? Left, right, left, right. If you break your stride, it tires you out.
Thing is, I've seen even when you're walking, someone just finished their break, they want to start walking, or they just grab the sandwich. They're full of their sandwiches or their drinks. They come in front of you like, okay.
You know, by the way, culturally, it's rude to walk and eat and drink at the same time.
Makruh.
It's makruh.
It's makruh. Yeah. They say if you want to eat or drink, sit down.
SubhanAllah, in the West, it's like everything's on the go, eat on the go, eat on the go. They have no concept
they even
of
have these standing.
respecting the food that you're eating.
The thing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's makruh to just stand there and eat. You have to sit at some point and eat. You can't stand and eat. That's
Standing,
makruh.
eating, drinking wise. During the daytime, it's okay to stand and drink, but nighttime you should sit down and drink.
I've seen that. I've never understood why.
I think it's to do something with the valves that in your body and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
Something to do. There's a scientific.
Wait,
thing
the
behind it.
science behind it is mad.
Is it?
Yeah.
I read into it. I'm not going to get into it now, but the science behind
there's a lot of science behind it.
a lot of hadith explaining what you should and shouldn't do. The science behind it is mad if you read into it.
Yeah.
Even gold. You remember about men don't wear gold? You know why?
Why?
Because this is one that puts off. People don't really know why men are not allowed to wear gold.
Why?
Because gold has a certain reaction with man, which produces poisons in the body.
It reduces white blood. I know it reduces white blood cells, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do that to women?
It does not.
No. Biology is different.
That's very interesting.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Science.
The science behind all the fiqh. But it's not a fiqh
You
show.
don't do anything yet.
This is
check, right?
Arbaeen talk. And ways to improve the Mashaya.
Yeah.
I think, making I think they should build another highway.
Yeah.
Because there's so much traffic.
Another thing is the congestion getting in.
Cars.
The congestion getting in. Maybe they can source some sort of system out, make it wider, have more police there, checkpoints.
If it was me, I'd make another highway, like an A road or something.
Yeah.
Just away from the Mashaya.
What's that? A toll road? 407.
401, 407.
Is it 401? Is it 401?
M6.
407. Yeah, 407. Yeah.
What charges the one to enter?
Yeah.
Fast track.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm doing a VAR check on the gold's men thing. Is wearing gold bad for men's health according to Islam? Anyway.
While he's researching, Mullah Rashid, what would you want to see?
Got it.
Did we both do it at the same time?
Yeah.
No, I knew you were gonna do it. So I did it.
Is there like a delay?
Did you go last year?
No, last year I didn't go.
So the last time you went, what was your biggest pet peeve that you'd like? I want this to change.
I think it's similar to what you guys have all said about how busy it is. I think especially for example, just when you're about to enter Karbala, it's like that little bit. It's like it's not even that far.
Yeah.
But it's taking you about an hour, 2 hours just to enter into Karbala. Then when you're in Karbala, then it's more busy. So I think, like you said, maybe having more roads, more highways, more space, allowing more Zawar, because the number's not going to go down every year. It's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
You know, like after
They
COVID,
saw
it jumped to
something
what, like 20 million or something?
Yeah.
So it's not, the number's not going to go down. It's just going to keep going up. So I think infrastructure-wise, need to do a bit more.
On that note, Karbala city itself, what if there was like a mini tram or a mini train just to help the elderly as well, from, let's say, just out where the security starts, just the Dariba around there,
Yeah.
all the way to the shrine.
You'd have to demolish quite a bit of buildings.
Underground walkway.
Oh, underground.
Now I would have done it like, you know the one they got in them theme parks, can't remember to mention the names, but them little trains and stuff like that.
At the top?
No, it's on the road.
It's
on the road.
Like what, trams?
Yeah, like trams.
Oh,
We
going
struggle
through
with-
the city and stuff.
No, just like one or two, going to the shrine, just to the shrine.
I think you
It
can
doesn't have to be long. It can even be from like Markaziyah all the way to
I mean,
the
what they do currently is offer a shuttle service from the edge of where cars are, the last checkpoint where cars are allowed to come in.
That's the Ataba Road.
Yeah, the Ataba stuff.
Ah.
They do offer shuttle service to and from the just because you're not on a. But then I don't know how that works in Arbaeen time because it's so packed out inside.
So they do. So, for example, that road, I don't know what that road is called, but that's the Ataba Road with the fancy trees.
Or the red one.
Yeah, the one with
Red
all
lights.
the
Yeah.
RGB lights.
Shara
Muhammad Amin?
Muhammad Amin.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
good.
shit.
Yeah.
So Shara Muhammad Amin, I've walked down there a lot. There is no mawkibs there. You're not allowed to put mawkibs there.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do nothing there. So
Yeah.
and that's reserved. And the only cars going back and forth are the Ataba minibuses.
Ah.
And then now they recently bought, if I'm not mistaken, Shara Qazwin. That
Okay.
road there. So and again, no more.
And
Yeah,
they drop you at Mukhayyam.
Mukhayyam.
Yeah. That's where they drop you off.
like-
Mukhayyam.
That's in my head. That's like the ring road of Bain al Haramain area. That main road.
Yeah.
So that ring road is where they will drop you off, and that's where most of the shuttle services, even during.
So for
Arbaeen.
anyone who is in Karbala, if I can get my screen up, for anyone who's in Karbala, just so you know, and you're looking to get a quick entrance into the shrine area. No, this is wrong. Oh, forward. Maps. Here we go. Don't worry, I found it. So, what Sevi was talking about in terms of the ring road.
Yeah, zoom in. There you go.
Where's the shrine?
So there's the shrine up there. It's in the middle of the screen now.
So he's talking about here. This is the ring road that he's talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Shara Muhammad al-Amin should be here, if I'm not mistaken. No, Shara Muhammad al-Amin is here.
No.
So this is the ring road. Sorry, this is the ring road. No, it's not.
No,
because this is Jamhuriya Street.
Where's Mukhayyam?
no.
This is
Mukhayyam,
Mukhayyam
but
here.
Jamhuriya Street is the new ring road.
This is Mukhayyam. Jamhuriya Street is the new ring road.
Yeah,
So it'll drop you off
there.
here. That's
Yeah.
Muhammad al-Amin right here. No. That's
It's one of those ones.
there. This one there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. And the one going the other way is Shara Qazwin.
The other one here.
No.
Towards which one? Towards the Royal Hotel. That one.
So
I
look,
think.
the river,
Royal.
the one with all the hotels, that's Shara Qazwin, if I'm not mistaken. And the one with the river is the Shara Muhammad Amin.
Oh,
Like
it's
follow-
quite
follow-
big.
Yeah, it says it.
It's quite long actually. Shara Muhammad al-Amin.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can get okay. So for anyone listening, anyone watching who's going to be going Arbaeen, you can get a shuttle service from here.
Yes.
Yeah, which is the highway basically. It's not a highway, but it's
It's a dual carriage.
it's a
Main
dual
road,
carriageway,
main road.
which is a road which cars are allowed to go in, but cars are not allowed to come inside here
Yeah.
or inside there.
It's like congestion
or inside
zone.
there. Yeah, it's a congestion zone.
That
Exactly.
congestion zone, there's no cars during Arbaeen.
Yeah. So you can get a shuttle service because there's no more Akib on this road whatsoever.
You can even walk there quite quick.
You
'cause
can
there's-
walk.
you can,
The
yeah,
foot
yeah.
traffic is very quiet.
Yeah, it's very
and
quiet
now,
there.
obviously, with Shara Qazwin being closed, you can, I think, walk on there as well quite freely.
That's
I know a couple of people who have
interesting.
their mokibs there. This year they have to relocate because they can't do it there anymore.
But this is this right? Because
Yes, because if you
this
follow,
is Shara al-Qibla.
yeah, so look at where it bends. That's where that flag is.
The flag is here, yeah?
Yeah, that flag is there.
Marcus Square.
Markaziyah. Yeah.
And then if you walk, that's the rain roundabout where things start
I
getting.
didn't even
busy.
knew
Yes.
it doesn't look that long when you walk it, but it is, isn't it? It's quite a bit
Which
of
one?
journey.
So the thing is-
Markaziyah.
Way, Qasr Residence.
Oh, I get to bring it down.
So
Yeah.
the thing is,
Yeah.
Big up
Google-
if you got a booking.
So over the last like 5-10 years, I've seen like Google Maps change a lot significantly with the
Abu
design. of-
Nabil. They've got it on the maps. That's
so
amazing.
the maps has
Kebab
gone a
Abu Nabil.
long way. So now
This is one of the best kebabs in Karbala, by the way. Kebab Abu Nabil. Just so you know. Yeah,
So like the maps have changed a lot. So now you can see every. You know when you go down some random dark alley and you're like, what the hell is this? That's all on Google Maps now, by the way. You cannot get lost in Karbala. Like what I do.
So what's the closest the car can get into here?
during Arbaeen time?
No, during Arbaeen is all the blue ones.
Baghdad is the closest.
I think Baghdad.
Yeah, right here.
Anything blue is what's open during Arbaeen. But if it's not blue, it's closed.
So that's Abbas Shrine alayhi salam.
Bab al-Baghdad is
so
extremely
any hotels
close
around
to the
here
shrine.
is nice.
It's very close.
Any hotels around
Bab
here.
al-Baghdad is extremely close to the shrines. It's like
It's
you say what,
just
400 meters, 500 meters.
Yeah, it's from there to here.
But the thing is, you say 400 meters and it's quick. It's pack out. It's
congested.
congested.
Obviously it is
So
very
it'll be
congested.
like I tried last year to go through, like to go to. I was gonna get a car and I wanted to go to the other side, Hayl Hussein.
Yeah.
And the quicker, so the quickest way when I went to Baghdad, you went all the way around. Literally took me less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If I was to walk it, at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
I've done it before. It's not nice.
So one last thing that I guess we wanted to touch upon, with your permission, Amir Savi. There has been an influx and a mad rise in tour groups.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot popping up, which in my view is fantastic because it signifies the fact that there is more interest in going to ziyarah. But what's your view on the amount of tour groups now?
So, how many of us have worked with tour? Have you worked with a tour group now?
Yeah.
You've definitely. I mean, you've been. Fantastic. I think with the influx of tour groups, I'd see nothing wrong with it. I think it's fantastic. It just shows the amount of people that want to go on ziyarah.
Yeah.
You know, and that it can get difficult for maybe smaller tour groups to handle such big demands and so forth. But there's people coming from all over the world. It's not just the tour groups in the UK. There's USA, Canada, Europe.
I mean,
plenty.
You've been on both sides of the coin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You've been part of an organizing of a tour group, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in and around.
Technically.
Okay, but you've been part of a group as a Zayar, right? What was your experiences like?
So the thing is, being also understanding that I've done Karbala by myself without the group, and then being part of a tour group. Having a tour group is very, very useful. Whether you're a native or not, whether it's the first time or your 100th time, having that tour group gives you the easy access because you lot will have coaches on standby. I don't need to call this guy and this guy. Oh, please give me this number who can be available. So having the regime of the organization ready, the logistics ready, makes a significant impact to my trip. Like for example, like you mentioned a few episodes ago, I knew my bag was with the tour group. My bag's gone. I can walk in peace. And I think tour groups are great. I think there's nothing wrong with having the tour groups. My issue isn't the tour groups, is the other infrastructure pieces that tour groups have to take that causes problems like the price hikes and other stuff.
Okay.
So like I've seen people who's this is their first time, like the tour group's great because if you don't speak the language or you struggle that you don't know where you're going, you're in a city, you got Google Maps open, you're not gonna tell this road from this road apart. There's no signs. There is no. You can ask for help, but you're gonna struggle because there's 1,000 people who are also probably clueless. Absolutely. Don't know where they're going. So having a tour leader, instructor, tell you, look, follow me, go this, go that, and also. Say you go to this spot, like you see there's some sort of darih there, or there's a structure. They're like, what is this spot? I don't know what it is.
Okay.
The tour group will tell you. There'll be a sheikh or someone who's an experienced. Be like, I know what this is. This is, for example, Tala Zainabiyya.
Yeah.
This is what happened here. Yeah, and then you can feel immersed. Yeah. Because I've know will turn into a na'i, and then you will start crying. And you know what? I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it. It's not. You don't have to try and get yourself in the mood when you're surrounded by people who are also in the mood with you.
Interesting. Okay. So it does facilitate. You're right, because if you can technically go alone, right? As we said in the previous episodes, we can go alone, but the whole idea is how do we make your life easier, pay a bit extra, and everything is sorted out for you. Mullah, you've been as a reciter, as part of a tour group. Have you been as just part of a tour group, just as a Zayar?
Yeah. So when I went with my dad,
it
was just a few of us. We went. There was no like recitation expectations or anything like that. Obviously here and there you might recite. Yeah. But it was nothing like, we expect you to recite and like, for example, sorry, you're saying?
No, sorry.
No, I was just going to say like, so obviously the difference between then being with a group is that I know that, for example, going to this location, I have to have something on the bus, for example, I'm reciting And different places, you're going to have different citations. Always being on the ball, kind of being ready to know that you got to have something. But I think as a whole, it does make the experience a lot easier. Because, you know, compared to being without a group, I'd say it's kind of a bit more headache.
Yeah.
But if you obviously you're going with a group,
everything's sorted out.
Everything's sorted out for you. You just get a timetable in the morning, until you know what you're doing. So it's simple. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, the people underestimate. Look, it's a very difficult country to navigate off season. So imagine in season when there are millions of people around and they all want the same services that you do. They all want a bus. They all want a taxi. They all want a hotel. They all want accommodation. They all want catering.
Small things like I want a SIM card.
Yeah,
Navigating a SIM card. It's not like you just go get pay as you go. You have to activate and then do this and then do. It's not easy at all.
I think one of the most important things about tour groups, okay, thank you. I think one of the most important things about tour groups is that they have doctors there. So if there is, for God forbid, but if there is any medical issue or something, there's a doctor at hand. There's volunteers at hand. You're in a foreign country, different language, different medicines, and so forth. At least with your tour group, you've got an allocated doctor on call straight away. They will take care of you. You've got nothing to worry about.
But what I've noticed with tour groups is sorry, Mullah, even if you're not part of the tour group, their tour groups will still help you. Like I've seen, like you can. There's a group of people like, okay, you see a sign, okay, that's a tour group. Haven't paid, I haven't registered. I asked them for help. 9 times out of 10, they will say, well, of course, join us. We'll help you. This and that. And
you can join their majalis. You can join their jalous.
It's all open door. The tour group, if you pay, you just get the access to hotel and maybe the logistics. But everything else is usually, if I'm not mistaken, most tour groups is open for all.
And that's why actually, look, aside from tour groups, it doesn't mean you can't go without a tour group. It just makes the life easier. But you can still go if you really wanted to and you don't really want to join a tour group. Actually, one of the beautiful ways is going with a group of friends. I've had a lot of like group of friends that just say, you know what, we're gonna go together, we're gonna book the same flights, we'll stay in the same place, but we're not bound by like a timetable or a schedule or you have to be out at this time, you have to be at that time. We can go wherever we want, we can go wherever we want, when we want, how we want. And you can always, as a group, navigate. Oh, okay, we need taxi. Who's going to deal with it? It's a nice little adventure that you can go on.
There's always like pros and cons with everything. Going in a group, you got your friends, you got your family, you're excited, you can do that. Going by yourself, though, is also good because, like, we talked about Mashaya, I got my own pace, right? So there's always, like, everything can work. You go there,
but I wouldn't say your first time. Don't go by yourself.
No, for your first time.
You need to learn the ropes.
For your first time, go with friends, go with families. I've always learned, go with someone either who can speak Arabic, you'll be fine, or someone who's been at least once when it was calmer, so you know what you're doing. So every time I'm with someone, I'm either with someone who's experienced or speaks Arabic, and I've always been, alhamdulillah, fine the whole time. Conclude.
Concluding.
This is very scary. It's very scary. No, guys, wait. Shout out to the Mullah and Sayyid and anyone who's a presenter. It's not easy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You did well. You did very well.
But first off, I would like to say thank you, Mullah Rashid, for joining us.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up the show, I want your final thoughts on. Are you going to Arbaeen this year?
Inshallah. Yeah, inshallah.
Name one exciting thing you want to do. You're excited for. Just one exciting thing for this Arbaeen coming.
So I didn't go last year. I didn't go last year. Last year's the year.
Okay, let's hold. Hold.
Okay.
How did that feel?
Do you know what? I felt a very big void in my heart. Because do you know what it is? Last year, I remember last year, a lot of people went. So it's like, imagine just going on Instagram, for example. Next story. Arbaeen. So it's like I was feeling it so much last year and I couldn't go. So it's like...
that must be one of the worst feelings. I remember going through that as well. Before COVID by 2 years. It was by far one of the worst. You're right. You're just flicking through social media.
Next, and it's like it was a year where I was feeling it so much. I was like, you know, Muharram. I've been feeling the whole of Muharram. Then it's like you look forward to then Arbaeen next, and then you can't go, or you just you're not invited, for example. So then it's like, but this year I think it's just going back to that busyness, that what we're used to, seeing the shrines, doing the walk. Alhamdulillah, the last time I went, which was 2 years ago, was the first time I actually completed the walk. It was the first time I completed the walk.
With us?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was the first time I completed the walk, and the feeling when you get to the end and then you just see the shrine, it's something different. So I think this year probably one of the things I'm really looking forward to is the walk.
MashaAllah, inshallah. Sayyid Mohsen.
Yes.
What are you feeling? You're going to Arbaeen soon, inshallah?
I am flying very soon. Most excited for every year. It's just nice to see what's different, how much it's improved, how many more people are coming, and so forth. And personally, for me, the Arbaeen experience, I'm more of a server than actually a Zawar with the work that I do and so forth. So it's always nice to see my team, catch up with them and so forth, see which direction Imam Hussein TV is headed in with regards to Arbaeen, and then as an outsider just to watch and to see how the Zawar come and what's been changed and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to actually getting involved and helping the Zawar, inshallah.
Inshallah, may Allah provide you millions of Zawar to serve.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Mullah Ali.
Yeah, so I'm gonna repeat my that feeling that I had of I can't wait to walk maybe 2-3 hours, be really tired, and then just sit down. My first break, sitting down and just watching the Zawar, having a backpack, just leaning on the back. You know when you lean on the backpack on the chair?
The relief.
The relief, and it's just like I just want to sit down and just feel the tiredness kind of seeping away from me. And just watching the Zawar one after the other, just looking at this person, this woman, this man, this child, this boy.
It's very therapeutic.
It's one of the best feelings.
Inshallah.
I just want a reset. I just feel like sometimes Arbaeen is a reset of your thoughts, of your experiences, of your ideas. You get inspired to create new ideas.
Yeah. It's the break you need.
It's the break you need. You're far away from social media. You're far away from because you're allowed, because you're on annual leave from work, or because on your holidays, or because you're away from family. You're allowed to have that moment to yourself. Those 3 days of walking is totally to yourself. You can literally do i'tikaf. Right, in the sense that I don't want to speak to anyone. Yeah. These 3 days are just for me. I know what my past is. I know what my present is, and I know what my future is. All right, and I'm heading towards Imam Hussein. That's the feeling.
It's the best meditation one can get. Amazing. And inshallah, for me, inshallah, I do want to go this year. I haven't booked, so pray for me, everyone. Inshallah, I have the opportunity to go, and I just want to go. I've worked a lot. I've seen behind the scenes. I've seen people walk. I've seen the dome. I've seen the shrine. But being in person, just seeing when you go to the door and you look at like Bab al-Qibla. You go to the door. You can see straight into the Zawar. So that's what I need. I wanted to go see straight with all the Zawar in front of me, trying to reach it. That for me is a sight for sore eyes. That can never be beaten. Inshallah. But alhamdulillah, it's been a fantastic podcast show.
Big up the team.
I want to give a shout out to the people behind the scenes. They're hardworking, they're dedicated, including myself. I know what it's like. So big up, shout out to our visual director Salman. May Allah bless you, inshallah. Big up our director Muhammad Fahad. May Allah bless you. Big up and shout out to the producer getting the content, getting us on set and for filming. And shout out to my co-host and guest, and shout out myself behind
big up
today I'm not behind the scenes engineering, but here I am. Thank you for joining us. Inshallah, join us next time. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
All my days I give in your name, having you my desire.